right. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our seventh annual Global Pitch event. I can't believe it's been 7 years. Wow. I'm Annalise Hips, the founder and executive director of the Changemaker Project. First off, I want to thank you all for being here today to support our Changemakers. This event wouldn't be possible without your presence here today. This year, we have a wonderful lineup of teams from around the world pitching their social impact projects for a chance to win funding. Most of the teams you'll see during the pitches are high school students, but I'm excited to share that our Visionaries Institute fellows are also joining us today to pitch their projects. The Visionaries Institute is our brand new program for adult change makers who want to make change in their communities. And we have the founders of some amazing budding nonprofits here today that I'm excited for you to meet. Just like last year, for those of you who are returning, anybody returning? Anybody been to this event before? Few of you? Okay, awesome. Audience members can donate directly to Teams projects, ask Teams questions during the Q&A, and even sign up to mentor teams that you'd like to support. So keep an eye out for a team that looks like one that you'd like to support. After each team's pitch, we'll put a link to their GoFundMe page in the chat. Maya's going to be doing that for me. Thank you, Maya. She's going to be putting the link in the chat for everybody's GoFundMe page after they present, so that you can donate if you'd like. And even $5 as a donation really makes a difference to our team. You may be wondering what happens after Global Pitch, after kids get funding. So once they get their funding, we support them as they launch and execute their projects over the next 3 months. We have Zoom calls where students meet with mentors to guide them on their projects and provide support. So let us know if you're interested in mentoring a team that you see here today. Finally, on June 2nd, we'll have a Changemaker Showcase event where all of the teams will present their finished projects and the impact they've made. So mark your calendars for that. And today we'll have 10 teams featured here in the main room, and then we'll divide into a few breakout rooms based on issue area to hear additional pitches. You'll be able to choose which breakout room you want to join and move between rooms if you'd like to. Our wonderful team of volunteers and co-hosts will be facilitating the breakout rooms and helping out behind the scenes today. They're all designated as co-hosts in the meeting, so if you need anything during the event, just feel free to chat with them and ask for help. In the interest of time and given the size of our group, we'll be keeping everyone on mute most of the time. If you have any questions about the Changemaker project or how things work, I'll stay in the main room after we open up the breakout sessions and would be happy to answer your questions during that time. For each team's project, we'll play their 2-minute pitch video, and then we'll have 2 minutes for Q&A. Community supporters will be able to ask questions first in that Q&A period and also get first dibs on which teams they'd like to fund. All audience members will also have a chance to fund projects directly through the GoFundMe pages, which we'll share shortly. If you would like your donation to be routed through the Changemaker project for a tax-deductible donation, you can step up as a community supporter, and we'll talk more about that later on. We have a few community supporters already signed up, but if anybody else wants to sign up as a community supporter to help fund projects, get your tax-deductible donation, we can get you signed up as well. Once the 10 pitches are finished in the main room, I'll give a short presentation about the Changemaker project to kind of tell you more about what we do. Then we'll open up the breakout rooms for our additional pitches. When we come back together from the breakout rooms, our community supporters will announce which projects they decided to fund. And finally, you'll have a chance to vote for your favorite team in the People's Choice Awards and sign up as a mentor if there's a team you'd like to support. So now I'd like to take a moment to thank our sponsors, Mobius and the Pollination Project. Ari Nessel and Stephanie Klumpner, the founders of the Pollination Project, are here today. Are you here yet, Ari and Steph? You want to say hello? I haven't seen them pop in yet, but hopefully they'll join us. They have been funding projects at all 6 of our previous global pitches. So we're so grateful for their support. Thank you, Ari and Steph. Next, I'd like to introduce one of our board members who is here with us today, Daniela Nunez. Daniela, are you here today? Yeah?
Yes. Hi, everyone.
Hi, Daniela. Great to see you.
Great to be here with you all and get inspired by your work. And thank you for all you do. It's so important. Thanks, Annalise.
Thank you, Daniela. Daniela and I have been friends since college when we volunteered together at the animal shelter. And I'm so grateful to have her on the board. She's been on the board since the very beginning. So thank you so much, Daniela, for being here. Next, let's say hello to our community supporters. Do we have any community supporters here with us yet? Is Jay here? Jay, are you here?
Hello. Hi there, everyone.
Hi,
Nice to
great
be
to
with you
see
all.
you. Thanks
Excited
for
to see
being
your projects today.
awesome. Chijoki, are you here yet? I know Chijoki wasn't sure if he'd be able to make the actual event, so he may be popping in, but he'll definitely be supporting projects. Christian and Gina, are you guys here?
I'm here. Gina couldn't make it,
Hi.
family, but happy to be here and see all the projects.
Yeah. Thanks for being here, Christian.
Yes.
And Mary and Brent, are you guys here?
Hi, we're here. We just aren't on camera because we have you pulled up on the TV so the three kids can see.
Oh, awesome. Hi, everybody. That's my
We're
sister.
thrilled to see all the important work.
Aw, thanks for joining. Okay. All right. So thank you all community supporters for being here to support our team's projects. We're so excited. Now that all those logistics are out of the way, let's get started. So I'm going to be pulling up some slides here. I'll share my screen and you'll get to see some of our students' pitches. All right. Okay, so as you can see on this slide, we've got a couple of, we've got our hashtag Changemaker Global Pitch. We've got our handles for Instagram and X, formerly Twitter. So if you'd like to share about the event, maybe share a screenshot of what you see today, something you're excited about, something you're inspired by, you can use those hashtags. All right. I'm going to actually start by playing a video, kind of a little promo video about what we do so that you'll have a chance to see some of the kind of our previous students talking about what they gained from the Changemaker project. So I'll just pull that up now. And maybe while I'm pulling that up, if you could share in the chat where you're joining in from today. Maybe put your country, your city, location, where you're joining in from so we can see who's with us.
The Changemaker Project is a program for young people who want to make a change in their world and go from the process of having even the smallest idea to a fully fledged project by the end of the year.
I have actually realized how huge the spectrum of different issues around the globe is.
As you can see by our 3D model, we have a shape structure.
We are creating an educational video series that will train 3rd through 5th graders.
We came up with this project to tackle the problem of poor sanitary conditions at the dummy market.
I can now say that I am a leader and a change maker.
I am capable of more things than I thought I was.
Thanks to the Changemaker Project.
If tools such as the Changemaker Project meet people who are motivated and capable, that's where change is made.
The Changemaker Project has restored my faith in humanity.
And I have a hope for our future.
All right, so now that gives you a sense of kind of what we do. I'll be talking more about the program and how it works after our first 10 pitches. I see that we've got some folks putting things in the chat. Excellent. We can see where everybody's joining in from, and maybe also include in the chat the years that you've joined for Global Pitch in the past. Maybe you guys have been supporters for a long time. You can share if this is your first time coming or if you've been here before. All right. So like I said before, each team's going to have 2 minutes to share their video, and then we'll have Q&A from the audience for 2 minutes. And if you have a question about a project, you can send it to me via the chat, and we'll try to get to as many questions as we can. So we'll begin with our Visionaries Institute fellows, starting with Alina, who is actually, she was a participant in the Changemaker project previously as a student, and now she's back as a Visionary Institute fellow. So let's begin. Foodprint EDU, here's her video. Oh no, it's not playing. Sorry about that. Zoom, it looks like Zoom just updated on me today, and it has a totally new interface, and it's not playing the video for some reason. Alina, can you share your video while I try to get this straightened out?
Let me pull it up, but I can hopefully. Thank you.
So sorry about that. Let me try in the meantime and try my next video. Hopefully that works. It's an unsupported format. Okay, here we go. This is growing plant-based. Okay, this looks like it's gonna play.
Our current food system, heavily relying on animal agriculture, increases the risk to many chronic conditions, is a leading driver of climate change, and causes immense suffering to animals. And whilst there is a plethora of nonprofits advocating for a plant-based dietary shift, there is a significant demographic currently underserved: families raising children. There is a strong perception that meat, eggs, and dairy are necessary for the optimal growth and development in infancy and childhood, making pregnancy and raising a family common reasons for parents to abandon or rule out plant-based diets. We need to change this perception and increase the mainstream acceptance that raising children plant-based is not only safe but beneficial. I'm Sarah Warner, founder of Growing Plant-Based, a new nonprofit setting out to reach this demographic, supporting families raising children in making and sustaining a plant-based dietary shift. We will advocate the benefits on offer to children, from fostering good nutritional habits that instill the foundations for lifelong health, to safeguarding a sustainable future for them, and in nurturing their innate love for animals. These benefits stand to act as the motivator for parents to shift their families' diets, and our practical resources will provide the tools necessary to support and sustain this shift. We will address the nutritional needs across the early life stages, as well as the conversational needs in how to approach vegan topics with children. Further, we will set out to advocate for vegan, inclusive, child-based environments, removing barriers to dietary change for families. As we power ahead on a volunteer basis, we are seeking $300 so that a collection of our nutrition social media content can be reviewed by a dietitian. We have set out a comprehensive 3-year strategy to set us up for success, and it is my sincere hope that together we can create a world that is healthy, sustainable, and compassionate for the children of today and tomorrow. Thank you.
All right, let's unmute and give Sarah a hand. Beautiful job. Okay, let's start with our community supporters. Do we have any questions for Sarah about her project? Stephanie, go ahead. You can unmute yourself. Say hello. We didn't get to see you earlier.
Hi. Sorry, I'm out carrying at the same time, but I'm so inspired by, I read about your project originally. I'm so inspired by it, but I'm curious just what motivated you to begin it?
I would say primarily my own children. So since becoming a mother to twins in 2021, it's been a budding idea. So yeah, they're my primary inspiration. And I just think about the planet that we're leaving behind and what type of future they're going to grow up into. So yeah, that's been my inspiration.
Wonderful. Thanks.
Thank you, Sarah. Christian, go for it.
Yeah, great project. I'm curious how you plan to reach the kids, because I think I heard you talk about both kids and parents. So can you talk a little bit about that?
So our work is primarily actually just reaching parents. So it would be, parents being the agents for their children's decisions and the dietary patterns that they bring them up in their family homes. So yeah, our audience is really just parents, and it is their decision in terms of, okay, what information will they decide to implement within their own children.
Wonderful. And then it looks like Greg has a question in the chat. What's the biggest myth about animal agriculture that you've encountered?
I think that the biggest myth is probably that there are happy farms that exist, and this is actually a myth that we really adopt through childhood. As we explain where our food comes from, oftentimes it's portrayed in a way that doesn't make the child upset. If we sort of explained really what actually happened and the suffering that goes on, we would know that there aren't any happy farms.
Yeah, thank you so much, Sarah. And it looks like Jay has a question, but we're out of time. So Jay, can you put your question in the chat and maybe Sarah can answer it for us in the chat? All right, fantastic. So next we're going to try again. Alina's going to try sharing her video. Do you want to try it, Alina, since I had trouble?
Did you know that more greenhouse gas emissions could be from animal agriculture than the entire transportation sector combined? Me neither.
That is until this one fact and one internship began to shift my way of thinking as I learned how our food is connected to the environment.
More people are now aware of the current state of our climate and how environmental issues, which are becoming more and more evident, demand some sort of action. What most don't realize is just how much our food system and choices actually relate to these issues. At Foodprint EDU, we aim to reach, educate, and empower. Starting mid-2020, this meant reaching people online. Since then, we've been able to reach students both virtually and in person on campus. We educate college students both inside and outside the classroom with unique events, presentations, and internships.
The collective impact of our individual choices as consumers can make a big difference. This realization is what inspired me to join this team and to empower others to vote with their choices or with their dollar in favor of a healthier planet.
Funds are needed to renew our site and maintain the opportunity to provide free resources to our community, especially as the IPCC recently confirmed plant-based eating is a major way to mitigate climate change.
Foodprint EDU does make a big impact. I've seen it. My friends have talked about it whenever they come to a club presentation. They say how they never knew that before. What makes Foodprint so great is that they really break it down in a way that everyone can understand, whether you have an environmental background or not.
As a registered dietitian, I'm able to provide more in-depth answers and additional support for creating a sustainable yet balanced diet.
Here's some feedback from past interns and members about our impact. We're committed to sustaining this project long-term to reach, educate, and empower on more campuses. This year, we'd love to implement a tracker to the site that would actually allow students to track their food prints and monitor their impacts of their food choices. Not only would this allow for these impacts to be quantified, but would ensure their continued engagement with both us and their individual goals. This engages and empowers students post-awareness. We've impacted hundreds of students on Adelphi's campus, but are hopeful with nonprofit status can reach thousands on campuses across the county or New York State. With your support, we can hire an engineer to integrate a food print tracker on our site and soon file for 501c3 status to establish and really expand this campaign.
Awesome. Let's give her a hand. Wonderful job, Elena. I'm glad the screen share worked for you. Okay, let's have 2 minutes of Q&A from our community supporters. Anybody have a question for Elena?
I'll go. This Christian, what have you learned? I'm assuming you've looked at your own food prints as you've been looking about this. What have you learned about your own food choices as you have developed this?
Yeah, that's a great question. So my own food choices, I did learn that, many people kind of have shown that being vegan is like one of the greatest things that one person can do. So throughout this process and the inspiration, I've definitely, transitioned to a plant-based diet. And so that does make me feel great. I also have learned that it's not just about being vegan. Sometimes we also can help people who maybe aren't ready to transition. Also learn how to shop better and do things that eliminate food waste as much as possible. So looking at those choices as well and your shopping patterns is something I've also learned to look at as well throughout this process.
Thank you. Great.
I have a question for Alina.
Yeah.
Hi.
Yes.
Well, first, I want to say I've been following your food campaign, and it has inspired my family and I to do the Meatless Mondays.
Thank you.
We still do that. And I see on the video that you went to visit colleges and to promote your organization. Would you or have you had the opportunity to do even like elementary schools, middle schools, high schools? Because that would be something like good to implement or even have like school boards consider for our younger generation coming up.
Yeah, that's a great point. I know like a lot of our past members have said, oh, when are you going to go in high schools? And so I definitely think that's in our future. And I've worked with a high school intern, actually. We target college students because that's usually where people begin to make their own choices about what they eat. Because a lot of times, you're dependent upon your parents or what you have available. But when you're in college, you get to experiment about some of your food choices. But in the future, I definitely want us to work with other students and other schools as much as possible.
That's
It's
fun.
definitely
Awesome job, Alina. Thank you so much. Let's unmute and give her a hand. Okay, beautiful job. So now we are going to share our next video. Hopefully it works this time. This one is from Crystal at Holistic Wellness and Health.
Happy greetings. I'm Crystal Foreman with Holistic Wellness and Health. Our world is facing a crisis. The food we eat is not only affecting our health, but also causing harm to our planet. Unhealthy eating habits are leading to a rise in diseases, and our current agricultural practices are depleting the Earth's resources. Our solution is the Holistic Plant-Based Agriculture and Cooking Program. This program aims to transform lives by teaching regenerative farming techniques and teaching the benefits of compassionate plant-based living. We take participants on a journey from planting the first seed to savoring the final bite, celebrating the process of growing, preserving, and cooking plant-based foods. We educate Baltimore City youth about the power their food choices have in driving social change, fostering a deeper connection with the earth, themselves, and their communities. Our project will create a ripple effect. By adopting these practices, we can improve individual health, reduce negative environmental impact, and drive social change. We are committed to creating a better world, one plate at a time. Our project avoids causing harm to people, animals, or the environment. Rather, it promotes compassion and empathy for all living beings. Our effective implementation strategy ensures the feasibility of our project. We are dedicated to the long-term sustainability of this initiative. Our ask of $1,500 will cover the cost of cooking supplies, farming tools, locally sourced organic food, and reusable utensils, bowls, and plates. With your support, we can make a substantial difference. Thank you for considering contributing to our program. Together, we can cultivate a healthier world.
All right, let's give her a hand. Awesome job, Crystal. Okay, so we've got 2 minutes for Q&A. Who's got a question for Crystal? Any community supporters want to ask a question?
I didn't quite catch where the cooking equipments and supplies will be used.
Yes, so I will use all of the equipment at the farm. So I do a lot of the teaching directly on farms in Baltimore City. I have a relationship with several farms as well as homeschool groups and like community youth organizations. So all of the equipment will be used at the farms to help with the cooking part, as well as using reusable utensils instead of like things that would be thrown away or even compostable. And then we can hand wash everything right there at the farm and dry it. So yeah, everything's like right there in Baltimore.
Wonderful. Other questions?
This is Christian. Since you're in Baltimore, how do you deal with the growing season? You know, because working on the farm, I take it you probably cannot do that year round. So how do you plan to kind of keep the effort going around the year?
Yes, so the farm that you saw, the Oliver Community Farm, actually has hoop houses, and they grow all year for the community. So a couple of the farms I work with actually have, they do grow all year. They just they're limited in what they can grow during the winter. So they'll grow mostly brassicas, like kale and collards, things that are winter hardy. And then in the spring is when they grow a lot of things. So this project is mostly to fund for the spring project, where we can grow things like radishes, lettuce, things that grow pretty quickly. And the youth can actually plant it from seed, harvest it, and have an opportunity to make a meal with that, what they grew.
Excellent.
All right, that's time. Let's give her a hand. Awesome job, Crystal. Okay, great. And of course, if folks continue to have questions, you can put them in the chat and our teams can answer them in the chat. So I want to also point out that Maya has been putting links in the chat to each GoFundMe page. If you see a project that you'd like to support, give a couple dollars to, you can find that in the chat from Maya. Thanks so much, Maya. All right, so our next project is charity elections.
The problems in the world are pretty big. According to the World Health Organization, a child under 5 years old dies every 6 seconds from mostly preventable and treatable causes. And in this moment, over 70 billion animals are suffering in factory farms, not to mention their impact on climate change and other issues affecting the long-term future of our planet. No one person or even one organization can take all that on. Even just thinking about the issues can be overwhelming. But did you know that GiveWell, an independent charity evaluator, estimates that when given effectively, just $4,500 can save a human life? Research suggests that the most effective charities can be 100 times more effective than typical charities. So when you get to the best charities, it makes a huge difference. And with the vast disparity of income in the world, many people in the US, the UK, and other nations have a tremendous opportunity to make a difference, especially when 10% of the world still lives on less than roughly $2 per day. My name is Greg, and through the Charity Elections program, we inspire high school students to research 3 highly effective charities and submit a vote to decide which will receive up to $2,000 in sponsored funds. This year's charities are estimated to be pretty impactful. For example, a $50 donation to the Malaria Consortium can protect 7 children from malaria during a high-risk season, and a $50 donation to the Animal Charity Evaluators Recommended Charity Fund can prevent 1 year of life in a cage for 450 or more animals. And for each student who votes, an additional $2 is donated, so every vote makes a difference. Well, where do the funds come from? That's where we need you. Help us in our mission to empower high school students to research and discuss world issues and get inspired to make a difference. With $350, we can sponsor a charity election at a small school. 100% of the donations go directly to the highly effective charities on the ballot, so you get the double impact of supporting the cause and empowering young people to change the world at the same time. Also, we are still accepting applications for new schools to run charity elections, so spread the word. See the link in the description to visit our website or make a donation. Thanks for listening, and if you want to learn more about effective giving, check out givingwhatwecan.org for tips, resources, and more.
Great, awesome job, Greg. Let's give him a hand. Okay, community supporters, anyone have a question for Greg?
How many charity elections have you all run so far?
Yeah, so we reached 30 since 2018. Last year we had 12, and we're trying to double our reach each year, so we've had about 30 so far.
Question? Maybe from audience members?
Are there any specific issue areas that are most important to you, to your group?
Yeah, we refer to GiveWell, an independent charity evaluator, and Animal Charity Evaluators. And through those evaluators, we typically focus on global health and well-being and animal suffering. But we also incorporate long-term risks to the planet, such as climate change. So yeah, those are the causes we typically include.
Wonderful. And Jennifer Layden asks, how do you connect with high schools?
Yeah, so we spread the word through emailing teachers. We've gone to conferences. Sometimes it's just word of mouth. So yeah, we're trying out different methods and different methods.
Great. And Sarah asks, do you target specific areas or cities of schools, public schools, private schools, etc.?
My name is Ashley Stengel. Just in this random classroom in my high school, I have access to over 8 banned titles. I love to read, and I could never imagine my life without books. But unfortunately, that is the cruel reality for hundreds of students in America. According to PEN America, more than 3,300 books were banned in the 2022 to 2023 school year. Within that same year, the American Library Association's Office for Intellectual Freedom reported that the vast majority of titles challenged were books written by or about a person of color or a member of the LGBTQIA community. My 2 empathy interviews confirmed this greatly. My first interview, a Connecticut school board president, said all challenges his school faced contained LGBTQIA themes. In my second interview, a school librarian told me about the struggles of censorship she's gone through, and it breaks her heart that students cannot indulge in books that can guide them. This inspired me greatly. With this knowledge, I developed my project, Do What's Right. I wish to create an advocacy campaign that is twofold, a banned book fair and a banned books database. This database will contain several organizations and bookstores that are willing to help get books to students in censored districts. There will also be a section for digital copies of banned books. Additionally, the website will also showcase banned curriculums like AP Psychology and highlight online versions they can take. Second, the fair. This will be an event that will educate the public about book banning. I would like to get educated speakers to discuss this issue and hopefully be able to give out several banned books to the guests. Next, this is a list of items I believe I can secure on my own through volunteers and donations, but other materials I would need assistance in acquiring. This is a list of items I would hope to receive funding on for the total price of $493.94. I am so passionate about this topic and eager to create change. If we monitor personal expression, we are no better than the dystopian societies we see in books deemed harmful by school boards and politicians. Well, I won't stand for that, and I hope you won't either. Thank you. And find that is necessary to their path in life and feel like they belong.
Great. Okay, we have another question.
So in other classes on the list were actually Catcher in the Rye, which is my favorite book, Lord of the Flies, most books you actually read in school, which is extremely saddening. My school actually puts 5 books in our district in our curriculum, which I think is an excellent thing. But it really upsets me that my top 5 favorite books, kids all around the country can't read. So that is kind of why I'm inspired to make this change and hope that all students can engage in books like To Kill a Mockingbird that can teach you so many things that maybe a person cannot.
Thank you.
Wonderful. Good questions.
So a press release, I think, is a great idea. Once I secure a location, which I'm hoping would be my public library, I would definitely do I'd make a social media page where I can hopefully get this all out to the students who need it and to people who think that want to be involved. I've also been in touch with Penn America, the leading organization for this cause, and they said they would totally help be involved and advertise this, which is really something special, which I would love to incorporate with my fair.
Wonderful. That's all the time we have for that, but congratulations, Ashley. Great job. And we've got more questions in the chat that you can answer via the chat. Excellent. Wonderful. So next up, we have Newton South Gardening joining us from Massachusetts. Here we go.
Hi, we're the Newton South Gardening team.
So what problem are we solving? Well, Newton South doesn't have access to fresh, sustainable produce, and we're going to fix that.
Welcome to the garden. As you can see, there's not a lot growing right now, partially because it's winter, but also because our garden is decrepit. Oh no!
Ever since COVID, the student garden has struggled to be maintained due to a lack of student lineage.
Our solution is to revamp the garden. We will also be dividing the garden into different plots of land, which different clubs in our school can have their own responsibility over.
But this project isn't free. That's why we need your help.
This is what our budget looks like. For fertilizer, we need 2 packs of 64-ounce fertilizer that we would be using for about 4 seasons. In terms of seeds and seedlings, each pack averages a cost of $2, and the amount of seeds needed for our large garden is 50. In addition, specific plants are most successfully grown from seedlings, which adds $56.20 on top of the seeds. This totals to around $234.12. But any surplus materials will be used in the coming years.
We're going to use this garden to educate not only our high schoolers, but also our middle schoolers about how to care for the environment in their own gardens at home.
The produce produced in our garden can be used in our cafeteria to create healthy lunches. It can also be taken home by students who may not have access to fresh produce.
Please consider a donation of any amount.
Thank you!
Great, wonderful job. All right, who has a question for Newton South Gardening? Any community supporters want to speak up?
I have a question, and first of all, you're all adorable, and that was a great presentation. Just wondering about sustainability to the garden in years to come as perhaps you move out of the location, etc. If you've thought about how you're going to keep it going.
Yeah, of course. So part of our plan for the garden is we're going to have clubs at our schools and teachers at our schools sponsor a more manageable section of it. And that'll create a lineage of students and teachers who will be there year after year after year to care for the garden. Yeah.
Have you got from the teachers, etc. Have you gotten any buy-in yet?
Oh yeah, we've had tons of interest. I think we have around like 20 clubs signed up, and this is also a great opportunity for some of our affinity groups for example, like our Asian student organization can grow plants that would be important to their cultures. And it's a great way to promote community and have fun doing something sustainable.
Wonderful. Any other questions?
How do you split the food? You mentioned both some food could go to the cafeteria and some folks could take it home. Is it per club, kind of up to each club, how they do that? Or how do you do that split?
Yeah, it'd be up to each club how they want to split it. We're going to care for our own plot, and we're looking to donate most of that produce to students who may not have access to fresh produce at home.
Great.
We have thought of partnering with a local garden center. Unfortunately, they're sort of like doing their own thing. There's a Newton Community Farm, and they're doing their own thing for like their audience is more like parents and.
All right. Thank you so much, Newton South Gardening. Congratulations. Let's give them a hand. All right. Beautiful job. So let's start our next one, which is Jadikta's project, Sajiv Kerjeri. Here we go.
Hi, I'm Jaditya Singh Shekhawat from Nija Modi School. When I visited my hometown in Jhunjhunu, I got to know from my grandmother that the price of sangri has increased drastically. Being one of my favorite dishes, I spoke to many locals to identify the cause and learned that the khejri tree on which sangri grows is being continuously cut down. After the research, I found out that the main cause of the deforestation is illegal logging to make furniture and continuous urbanization. The problem being so grave that in some villages the number of the khejri trees fell from 50 to only 5. This tree has been testament to the resilience of the Thar Desert, from saving the lives of the people in a 40-year-old famine where people survive on its bark alone, to the Chipko movement where the women of the Bishnoi community sacrifice their life to save this tree by sticking to it. Thus, I launched my project Sajiv Khejri, a platform to protect the indigenous trees of Rajasthan and especially the khejri tree from illegal encroachment and logging. My project is based on collaborating with the local communities and fighting the problem and spreading awareness about it amongst the individuals through our website and workshops. First, we are collaborating with all the stakeholders, especially the Bishnoi community, the world's first ecologists, to stop logging and deforestation activities through our website and WhatsApp group. Second, to spread awareness, the Instagram page and the website will also act as a platform to educate people about the significance of the tree through several links to its historical significance, real-life stories, and several educational courses, creating importance for the rich ecosystem of Rajasthan. It will also contain sustainable alternatives to combat the root cause of deforestation, including eco-friendly furniture materials, responsible urbanization practices. To make all of this possible, we are seeking funding. $80 in total to develop the website, $100 for seeds and compost, and other $60 for pamphlets, conservation guides, and poster made with sustainable paper. Join us in our mission to preserve the biodiversity of the Rajasthan. Together, we can make a change. Let's ensure a greener and more sustainable future. Thanks a lot.
All right. Awesome job, Jaditya. Any questions from our community supporters?
I have a question about.
So for the answer to the question is that I'm from the same community in Rajasthan, so we speak Marwari here. And for that, the whole of Rajasthan, we speak Marwari, and it's my native language, so that's why I communicate with them. And moreover, it's my hometown in Rajasthan, so that way I'm easily able to communicate with the stakeholders.
Okay, and then Kristen had a question.
Yeah, is your focus on preventing logging of the trees or growing new trees? Because I'm also wondering about timeline, because new trees take a long time. But can you talk about that?
So it's a multifaceted approach. So once we are actually trying to bring reforest the area also, and also prevent the logging of trees, because logging is more important than reforestation. That way we are doing. So our main thing is preventing the logging of the trees.
Thank you.
Great. Other questions?
When you get reports of illegal activity, how will you escalate them?
Pardon, please.
Sorry, yeah. So when you get a report of illegal activity, will you tell authorities, and if so, how?
So for the authorities, so in my hometown, there is a special police department there. So whenever we are making a WhatsApp group, the particular police member or the particular authority member is being attached to the WhatsApp group and to the website. So whenever there is some illegal activity happening, the community people will actually report that on the website or on the WhatsApp group. And an active police member or the authority member will look into it, and the particular type of police. Also, there's established government task force for the illegal logging and deforestation things. Apparently, whenever there's some report in WhatsApp groups, the police force will be deployed in the area and can be resolved.
All right, that's all the time we have. Congrats, Jadita. Great job. You can answer more questions in the chat. We're going to move on to our next group, Fashionably Green.
Hi, my name is Alexa Goldberg. Did you know that 60% of approximately 150 million garments of clothing produced globally were discarded just a few years after production? This is because of fast fashion, which has an extremely negative impact on our environment. For my project, I am focusing on how to educate people about these impacts while also ways to rethink our shopping. So, what is fast fashion? Fast fashion mass produces their products, making their prices really cheap. The materials used to make these clothes are petroleum-based, resource-intensive synthetic fibers such as polyester. These single-use textiles are thrown into landfills where they are left to sit. Examples of fast fashion companies are Shein, Zara, and Forever 21. During my empathy interview, I learned that donating your clothes to clothing donation sites is not a solution to fast fashion. I did learn that thrifting and shopping from sustainable brands are ways to create environmental change, but that the demand for change has to come from the consumers, us, rather than big fashion companies. For my solution, I am making a sustainable fashion magazine. In this magazine, I will display clothing from many different sustainable fashion brands. The magazine will also include ways to make your own clothing and examples of thrifting, which are all ways we can save our planet fashionably. Also included in the magazine will be educational pages on the negative effects of fast fashion. This will be distributed in the library in my school and the public library in my town. This will make an impact on my community because many people are unaware of the different sustainable fashion brands and also do not know the negative impacts of fast fashion. Being able to bring these companies popularity while also highlighting the negatives of fast fashion will help to end the purchase of fast fashion in my community. In order to put my solution to action, I will need $300 to print the magazines and distribute them around my community. I'm planning on printing about 15 to 20 magazines for around $15 per magazine. Together, we can help make this planet fashionably green. Thank you.
Wonderful job, Alexa. And so sorry about the video hiccup. Appreciate it. Okay, so 2 minutes for questions from the audience. Who has a question for Alexa? Do we have any community supporters having a question first?
Yeah, have you considered putting content online in addition to printing it?
Yeah, definitely. I think that I can make a website and also on social media I can distribute both the magazine and just like general information.
Great. Other questions? We have a couple questions in the chat for you. Daniela says, have you thought about running geo-targeted social media ads about fast fashion to reach people digitally?
I haven't thought of that specifically, but I definitely think that maybe making like an Instagram account could help to distribute everything like to a wider crowd.
Great. Okay, and then NK says, how will you measure the impact on your community that is directly attributable to the awareness and information that your magazine is giving?
I think that one way that I can measure the impact on my community is just like trying to make sure that people continue to stop buying from these fast fashion companies as it is extremely harmful to the environment.
Great. Any other questions? How did you get inspired to start this project, Alexa?
So I've always been pretty interested in fast fashion in general and just like its impact. But I think specifically in my community, there's a large emphasis on like keeping up with the latest fashion trends. And I think that when people buy clothes, they kind of just focus on like having the clothes rather than the impact. So I think it's really important for people to know the impact as well.
Hey, excellent. All right, let's give her hands. Awesome job, Alexa. So I'll do our last one here, which is STEMspire. Okay.
A research by the Sato Knowledge Institute reveals that girls initially display interest in STEM during their formative years, typically between the ages 8 and 10. However, during adolescence, self-esteem concerning their competence in these subjects take a sharp hit, leading to a decline in enthusiasm. Additionally, stereotypes around gender and STEM further the belief that only boys excel in mathematics and science, while girls are inclined towards other fields like arts and humanities. These stereotypes manifest early in life and influence young girls' choices during adolescence. Hello, I am Hitanshi and my project is a STEMspire kit designed for girls studying in the Pod Village near our school campus. The aim is to spread awareness of the rising gender gap in STEM fields, to encourage and inspire girls from a young age to pursue careers in STEM, and to provide the girls with adequate resources and opportunities to boost their passion in STEM. I would like to build 50 STEMspire kits. Up to 50 to 200 students can use it at once. One kit can be used by 1 to 4 students together in a group. Will have one set of electric hardware, 2 diagrams and 2 CDs. The kits will aid to gain knowledge about different coding languages. In the workshops, I'll help the girls know what STEM is about, how it can help build important life skills, and I'll also teach them how to use the kits efficiently. Additionally, our kits will also benefit the girls as they are learning essential mathematical concepts, a variety of programming languages through which they can make apps, websites, and do projects using Arduino, which can change their perspective and lifestyle. These life-changing experiences and opportunities are something that they might never receive from their schools or village, if not offered to them by me. As Malala Yousafzai said, one child, one teacher, one book, and one pen can change the world. Thus, I would like to end by saying, help me in providing these girls with opportunities. Help me make this change in the lives of these girls for the better. Thank you.
All right, excellent job. Let's give her a hand. Okay, who has questions for Hitachi?
Hi, I didn't quite catch what the kits have in them. Can you explain?
So the kits have basically 3 main components. The first one will it will depend on the age. So if it's for girls studying in elementary school, it will be like basic circuit boards that contain wires, light, bulbs, and like pretty basic circuit board. Then for girls studying in high school, it will be more advanced. It will be like Arduino. I myself have got experience in Arduino and Raspberry Pi. So the second kit, which is for the high school girls, will contain Raspberry Pi and Arduino boards and the kit that is there for using it. And then the second component is a tangram. Tangram is basically this 7-piece puzzle kind of a thing, which is a square, which is in square shape, and it can help you make a variety of designs which will boost creative thinking skills of the girls and help them come up with better solutions. And then the third component is basically like a workshop that I plan to conduct with the girls so that I can teach them and explain them how they can make the most use of the kits and how it can help boost their interest and their knowledge about STEM.
Wonderful. And we have a question in the chat. How did you decide what to put in the kit?
I'm sorry, can you repeat your question?
How did you decide what to put in the kit?
So there's a background story as to why I chose this project. So and why I decided to put these specific components. So I am in a boarding school and we have this club called Pratiksha, which basically means waiting for the girls. Like Pratik in English means light. So, or an idea. So I volunteer there basically weekly. Every single week I go to the Pod Village and we teach girls English and maths.
However, like while talking to them, I realized that they have zero clue about what STEP is and how it can help them in developing several skills. So I asked them about what would you become like if you wanted to like when you grow up. They said basically stuff related to art and humanities. So I asked them that, what do you feel about a computer? What will you do with it? And then they said that we have heard so much stuff about people becoming a computer scientist or something like that, or an engineer and all. However, we have zero clue about it. So I thought I do not have
Okay,
much
sorry,
information.
I have to cut you off. Sorry. You can put the rest of your answer in the chat, and then we also have a question from Jay in the chat as well. And it looks like Together We Can is ready to present. So go ahead, ladies.
Welcome to Team Together We Can. We are a team of 2 UWC students, UWC RCN. So we have realized that there are children roaming about the streets, especially in Haiti and Lesotho. So we tried to investigate the reason behind this, and then we found that it's poverty that is putting them in the streets instead of them being at schools. So if we want the future with a lot of doctors, engineers, climate activists, economists, we need to start acting now. We need to start helping them to go back to school so that we can have a better future.
To tackle this issue, we have decided to donate some necessities such as toiletries, school supplies, and some clothes in order to help our vulnerable companions to alleviate their struggle in education. So, we have decided to start our project this year in 2 countries, Haiti and Lesotho. This is because of the escalating poverty that is affecting these 2 countries. Additionally, we shall provide some fun moments with them, such as hiking and playing games, in order to create the sense of togetherness and to have some fun moments. As we just started, we are planning on providing to at least 15 students in each of these countries. Later on, we shall implement this project in other vulnerable countries such as Eswatini, Jamaica, and many more. And this is our budget. As Nelson Mandela said,
Overcoming poverty is not a gesture of charity. It is an act of justice. It is the protection of a fundamental human right, the right to dignity and a decent life. We,
Team Together We Can, believe that we need to create the future that we want today.
Okay, awesome job, ladies, and thank you so much for playing your video. So let's get 2 minutes for Q&A from the audience. Any community supporters want to jump in with a question? No questions?
No, I'll go. Hi, this is
Okay.
Christian.
Thanks.
So how exactly are you planning to work with those countries? Because if I understand, you're in Norway, right? And you're talking about Haiti and Lesotho. So do you have people there that you work with, or what's the connection?
Okay, so we have contacted like organizations that we can donate these necessities to, and then they can help us to distribute this to those children.
Got it.
And also, we are from this country. I'm from Haiti and Garbo is from Lesotho. So we have organization that we are working, each one of us like is working with this organization, and we like ensure that they can provide. And this organization in my country, I already know them.
Great. Okay, more questions. Why did you choose this problem to tackle?
Okay, we chose it because we believe that as the youth, we shouldn't our current situations should not determine our destinations. So if you're somebody roaming in the streets because of poverty today, you shouldn't be somebody who will also roam in the streets in the future because of poverty. This is why we are trying to help them now so that we can have the better future.
Wonderful. Okay, perfect timing. Let's give them a hand. Awesome job, ladies. And again, if you would like to contribute to any of these projects, Maya has put all the links in the chat. And so we're going to take a little bit of a break from the pitches for now, and I'm just going to share about the Changemaker project and what we do. So hopefully you'll get a little better sense of how the Changemaker project works, how you can get involved if you'd like to, and yeah, let's take a look. So I started the Changemaker project, gosh, 7.5 years ago now. It's been a while, because I really believe in the power of young people to change the world. I believe that there are many, many problems out there, and there are more problems than I can tackle alone. And so when I discovered this idea of education for social change back in college a long time ago, it really sparked a seed of hope for me that someday I could create an organization that would empower youth to change the world, which could multiply my impact. So that's why I started the Changemaker project. The way that it works is we have a kind of a pathway for students. So we help them to learn about social issues. We help them to form small teams. And then we use Stanford's design thinking process to help students come up with an innovative idea that can help tackle a problem that they care about. And then they get to pitch their ideas for funding here today. So our curriculum has 3 main components. We do leadership development, helping them to develop skills of vision, confidence, initiative, empathy, and resilience, because we believe those are really important for developing the skills to be a leader. Then we help them to investigate various issues involving discrimination, social inequity, health and safety, animal welfare, and environmental protection. And we also help them to investigate the connections and the interconnectedness between these issues and how they can kind of work together as root causes to propagate a lot of problems in the world. For every issue that we present, it's not all gloom and doom. We always highlight a featured change maker who's making change on a given area so that they know, they can make change as young as they are in high school, in middle school. They can make change. They don't have to wait until they graduate. And then we teach Stanford's design thinking process. So this is really rooted in empathy. The students go out into their communities, they do empathy interviews, they talk to people who are affected by the problem so that they can really learn and understand the needs and pain points of those individuals rather than coming in with a solution that they think is great but doesn't actually meet the needs of those they're helping. So all of our students that you see here today have gone out into their community, they have done empathy interviews and investigated the problems with a firsthand approach. And then we have Global Pitch, which of course used to be in person, but now it's online. And it's an opportunity for students to pitch their ideas to a community of philanthropists and donors such as yourselves for a chance to win seed funding for their projects. And usually all of our projects get funded, so let's help all of our projects get funded today. Once they get their funding, they implement the project. So they have about 3 months to implement their projects and make change in their communities. These are some pictures of previous projects that have been implemented very successfully in different places. And again, they get to choose whatever issue they're most passionate about solving, whether it's climate change, racial justice, poverty, etc. They get to choose an issue and develop a project themselves. At the end of the year, we have our Changemaker Showcase. So mark your calendar. It's June 2nd at 10 a.m., same time. And it'll be similar to this event, except it will be the finished projects. So you've seen today the ideas that they have and the change they want to make. And on June 2nd, you'll get to see the change that they've made and the impact that they've made on their communities. So it's a really inspiring event, similar to today. We also have a Changemaker Leadership Pathway, so students can continue year after year to build their leadership skills and to make continued change in their community, whether it's continuing an existing project or starting a new project each year. We've reached many students across the world, and what I love about this program is that it allows students to come together from diverse places, diverse backgrounds and cultures, and really connect and learn from each other. We have our Changemaker workshops over Zoom where all the students get to connect and discuss the issues and get support on their projects together. So it's a great way for them to kind of break out of their day-to-day high school bubble and meet students from all over the world. If you are thinking, wow, this is such an awesome organization, I would love to contribute to it, you are very lucky because we have some opportunities for you to contribute. So of course, today you can donate to Teams projects. And actually, Maya, why don't you put in the chat the link to all the Teams projects on our website you can see. And that way you can click on each GoFundMe page and see who you want to contribute to. Even $5 makes a big difference to our teams. So you can see maybe who needs funding and give to them. You can also sign up to mentor a team that you saw today. So if there's a team that you really love, that you feel like, oh wow, my skills could help them, could contribute to what they're doing, please let us know. Maya, you can also put the link to become a mentor in the chat, so you'll have multiple opportunities, multiple ways to give. You could refer us to your CSR or marketing team regarding a sponsorship for an event like this. We're looking for sponsors for our Changemaker Showcase, so if you're interested in connecting us with your marketing team, that would be amazing. You can also join our fundraising advisory board, help us brainstorm and connect with financial resources. And then, of course, you can sponsor a Changemaker with a monthly donation. So this is an opportunity to give once a month and really support our work and keep it going. As little as $10 a month allows a student to participate in the project who wouldn't otherwise be able to. So we would love it if you could help us out by becoming a monthly donor. Maybe Maya could put that in the chat now, the link to become a monthly donor. All right. So yeah, this is more about that. Your sponsorship of $10 a month or more allows a student to participate in our program free of charge. So we have lots of students today who participate in this program without any cost because of our sponsorship program. So you can sign up today. Maya, can you put the link in the chat? And then I think Kieran is here and wanted to say a few words about that. Kieran, are you there?
Hi, Annalise. Yeah, how you doing?
Great. How are you? Thanks for coming.
Doing great.
I'm going to spotlight you.
Yeah, well, thank you for the opportunity to share. Yeah, I really am here as just a huge supporter of the Changemaker project. I've seen the program grow year over year, as you've shown, to have a global reach, but local community impact. And one of the things that I think is most inspiring is to see the students and young adults as they progress from the different stages of, starting the program, doing this initial pitch to showcase their idea, and then coming back in a couple of months' time to share the fruits of the work. And for me, really, I support this program because the incredible skills that it affords the students to learn, as well as the opportunities to follow some of their own unique passions. And then, as you've mentioned, there's sort of an opportunity to donate on a monthly basis for really the price of a coffee and a sandwich. And the money is very well utilized. Or, as you mentioned earlier, they can donate directly to the team so that the actual teams, there's no sort of overhead. And the final thing I'd say is just from a mentorship perspective, I've been fortunate to mentor a couple of teams, and really the students are incredibly capable. They need very little help, maybe a guiding or a sounding board, but it's an incredibly inspiring opportunity to see the students actually doing the work and potentially just offer some, again, a listening ear or a helping hand. So highly encourage everyone to just explore that or check out the website to learn more.
Thank you so much, Kieran. I really appreciate that. Kieran has been involved since the beginning with mentoring and supporting our teams, and I'm so grateful for those kind words, Kieran. So yeah, we, like Kieran said, we rely on the generosity of our donors to make this program possible. And we would love to have you support us as a monthly donor. We have some wonderful monthly, raise your hand if you're a monthly donor. I know we have some monthly donors in the audience today who support the Changemaker project and make this work possible. So thank you guys so much for your support. All right, so I wanted to, let's see, I'm going to open up the breakout room soon. We are almost right on time. So we'll be opening up 4 different breakout rooms, 1 for each topic area, and you'll have a chance to choose which breakout room you go to. And Maya, can you put the link in the chat one more time for the website with all the different projects? Actually, I'm going to also maybe screen share it for you so that you see what it looks like. And you'll get a chance to choose which projects you want to or which breakout room you choose to attend based on which projects are in that area. So just in case, I know that the GoFundMe widgets take a minute to load. So in case you can't see it, here are the projects by category here. So we've got education and youth projects are here. We've got social justice projects, that's the other breakout room. Then we've got health and safety, got 6 projects in there. And then finally we have animals and the environment. Okay, so we should have one more here, which is not showing up, but I'll fix that. Okay, so Misa's project, Empower Through Plants, is the last one. Okay, so everybody hopefully knows which project they want to go and look at in the breakout rooms. So I'm going to be opening up the rooms for about 25 minutes, and you'll have a facilitator in your room who can help you to, they'll play the videos and they'll ask the students to say hello at the beginning and then put their GoFundMe link in the chat so that you can donate to them. And does anybody, I'm going to share my screen one more time because, see, here we go. So I want to just talk about the opportunity to become a community supporter. So I know that we had some community supporters speaking up and asking questions today. If you would like to become a community supporter, you'll have your donation matched, or sorry, not matched. You'll have your donation tax deductible via the Changemaker Project. So you would donate to us and we would donate to the teams, and that way you get a tax write-off. So it's a great way to support our teams. Becoming a community supporter means pledging to donate $250 or more, and it can be to one project or it could be to multiple projects. But basically our community supporters are supporting students' work and allowing them to be able to execute their projects. All right, so if you would like to be a community supporter, please let me know. Maybe stay in the main room and chat with me. And then this is the email. You can send us the names of the teams that you'd like to support, and we'll transfer your funds to them. All right. And I just want to thank once again our sponsors, the Pollination Project and Mobius. Thank you so much for your support of our work. Okay, and I will be in here if anyone has any questions. Please stay here and ask me questions. But other than that, I'm going to open up our breakout rooms. We'll have 20 minutes, and you can, again, choose whichever breakout room you'd like to be in and come back here if you have any questions. All right, good luck, teams. Okay, so now we are, I think we're all back. I think our last breakout room is about to close. They're coming back. And do we have all of our community supporters here back in the main room? Okay, Stephanie's here. Awesome. And is Ari here? I didn't see him, but I know he had maybe a softball game, baseball game.
Available to join.
Okay. Yeah, no worries. So I'm going to have the community supporters go around and just share what projects they chose and why they chose them to fund. And then I'm going to take notes and make sure that all those projects get the funding that the community supporters are donating through the Changemaker Project. And then if anyone else wants to step up as a community supporter or just share what projects you wanted to fund as an audience member. I know we have a lot of projects that still need funding. I've seen the website kind of gives you updates on the projects, and it looks like a lot of donations have come in, but lots of projects still need some funding. So maybe Maya, you could put that link in the chat again for the projects page where everybody can see all the projects. And then let's start with you, Stephanie. Do you want to share which projects you're going to be funding?
Sure. So first of all, let me say that I'm truly inspired by every single one of you, and all of your projects are very worthy of funding. What's near and dear to the hearts of Mobius and the Pollination Project are in certain areas, and that's where my focus was when kind of determining some of the different donations we're going to make. And so with that, we're going to, I don't know if Annalise, if you need me to go into the dollar amount, because I think I'm still figuring all that out, but
whatever you're comfortable sharing. Yeah.
Yeah, but just as a starting point, there's 7, it looks like, that I selected, and they're all, and maybe I'll just list them and then I can just kind of share a couple of things just to not take too much time, but all of them partial funds, not meeting the full request, but partial funds, but I know that you'll get other funding. And so those include a food print EDU, growing, congratulations, growing plant-based,
Awesome.
charity elections,
Yay.
Newton South gardening,
Yay. You guys can all
and
unmute and clap.
yeah, and Seaside Savior, and lastly, Empower through Plant Power.
Awesome. Wow, lots of projects.
Yeah, and yeah, just given that there's so many, I won't go through all of them, but I'll just, a couple things that I'll just briefly mention, that like broadly, Seaside Savior, I live in New York City, and just personally, I had there was a group of individuals who kind of got together to do different cleanups in the area. And I was just walking down the street and I saw them together, and I was with my son. And so we asked them what they were doing and why they were doing it. And it inspired my son, who is not as into service as I'd like my 8-year-old to be. But it inspired him to literally just start cleaning up with them. And they had a little business card that they gave us, and so that we could join them. And so it was so impactful to me. And so I know that that makes an impact, that type of work. And so I just wanted to mention that. And then the other one, that charity elections, I just wanted to mention, tell me your name again.
It's Greg. Thanks.
Yeah, it was sometimes at the Pollination Project and Mobius, it's about funding not just the project, but the person. And you are just seem so capable and driven, and I know that you're going to make impacts with this and whatever you do. And so that was just inspiring to me to see. And I feel that way of every one of you, just as an aside. Sometimes it's also about funding the person as well as the project. And so, yeah, so that's just, those are just a couple things, but I'm so grateful for all of the work that all of you are doing.
Thank you so much, Stephanie. Awesome. Okay, I want to turn it over to Jay next to talk about any projects you'd like to fund. And I also just want to briefly mention that we're a little bit behind on time, so if we could keep our funding explanations to a minimum. But go ahead, Jay.
Sure, yeah. So I'm giving to 9 different projects. STEMspire stood out to me as in STEMspiring, as someone who works in STEM and is married to someone who's a woman who is in STEM, Black woman in STEM, and really like the opportunity for wealth to be created through education in STEM. Really care a lot about animals and the environment, and so I'm funding a lot of the projects that was focused on that, as well as charity elections, which I think is a great opportunity to inspire people to give toward really worthy organizations. So thanks everyone for inspiring and STEMspiring me as well.
Amazing. Let's give them a hand. Thank you so much, Jay, for your generous support. We're so grateful. Let's see who's next. I think Chijoke is not here. Correct me if I'm wrong. Okay, he's going to be funding projects after the event. Next, Christian and Gina. Christian, you want to
go? Amazing projects as usual. Also, I think we have nine projects. I'll just list them off and then I'll highlight a couple. Foodprint, growing plant-based, holistic wealth and wellness, Sajiv Kajiri, Fashion Me Green, Together We Can, and then also in the breakout room, Animal Protectors, Transforming Transportation, and Empower Through Plant Power. And the two that stood out were definitely for me also Empower Through Plant Power and Holistic Wellness. And I really like both of them, the focus on animals, health and welfare. Wonderful. So happy to fund.
Awesome. Let's give them a hand. Thank you so much, Christian. Yay, so many projects. This is very exciting. And then let's see. Next, we have our last community supporter, Marian Brent. Would you like to share?
Oh, thank you. I'll keep it short since we're tight on time. We funded a number of different projects, so I won't list them all, just partially funded. But we were really inspired by so many of them, and particularly impressed by some of the projects addressing plant-based education for people, food insecurity, and some of the educational projects within schools as well. So just really proud of all of you and inspired by you.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Mary and Brent. Congratulations to those teams. Fantastic. Okay, so we're going to have more donations rolling in over the next week. I'm going to be finding out from the community supporters how much they want to allocate to each project. They'll be sending the funds to me, and I'll be sending the funds to you. So if you want to step up as a community supporter, it's not too late. Just let me know after the event, and we can get you situated. Okay, I am now going to launch our People's Choice Award poll. So this is a chance for you to vote on your favorite team. So I'm going to start with the poll, or actually, wait, sorry. I'm going to go back. I'm going to launch all the polls. I think that will work. So just only do the poll where you actually saw people in the event. Otherwise, you can just write, I was not in this room. But let's go ahead and launch that poll. Let's see. Oh, maybe I have to, I think I have to do them one at a time. Okay, so let's do the People's Choice Award first. So go ahead, the People's Choice Award in the main room first. So go ahead and answer that. Everybody can answer that one, hopefully. And maybe I should have done this sooner. Okay, we've got a tie. Uh-oh, people better vote. Looks like 78% of people have voted, so we still have some people left to vote. Please cast your vote. It's okay to vote for yourselves, students. Boy, this is a tough one. It's very close. This is where it comes in handy to invite your friends to the pitch event to come and support you. Okay, I'm gonna announce this one last. So I'm just gonna write down, okay. We still have about 10% of you have not voted, so please do vote. While you're voting, I am going to ask Maya to share the link for the mentors, the mentorship opportunity. So you saw a lot of teams pitch today, and a lot of them they all need help with mentoring. So if you want to join our monthly Zoom calls and help mentor students, it's a short commitment. It's 4 Zoom calls once a month between March and March and June. So it's just 4 Zoom calls where you help students learn about their project, give them support. You don't have to have any special skills. Anybody can be a mentor. You have something to offer. So please sign up and let us know who you'd like to mentor. Okay, I'm going to close this poll because I think no one else is voting, but let's see here. I think we have a winner. Yes, we have a winner, but it's very close. Let's see. Okay. Very close. Okay, so I'm going to end that poll, and I'm going to start the next one. So we'll have one for each room. Okay, so let's launch the animal group. So again, only answer it if you were in this room. Otherwise, you can answer, I was not in this breakout room, and you can be done. Okay, I'm just gonna give like a minute for each room. Like almost everybody's participated. This one is also very close. Please vote if you haven't yet. Okay. Looks like we have a winner in this breakout room. Okay, now I'm gonna end this poll and launch the next one. This one's gonna be the health and safety group. Okay, so while we are doing the polls, does any students do any students want to speak up and share maybe about your favorite part of the Changemaker project, or you could share about some inspiring project that you saw here today that was pretty cool. I'll give like 2 more minutes for this, or 1 more minute for this poll. Please vote if you haven't. And any students want to speak up? Maybe some folks from the Visionaries Institute? Okay, I'm going to close this poll. And now I'm going to open up the next one. Okay, all right, so now if you were in the social justice group, you can vote here. And maybe let's take turns and share. Visionaries, you want to share how your experience has been, or any projects that you saw in your breakout rooms that were really cool?
Yeah, I'll speak up. Sorry if you can hear some background music. I've got one of my boys with me now. I really just loved this experience, to be honest, at Global Pitch and doing the video. It was super daunting. And I think putting yourself on film, yeah, can be really confronting and daunting, but it has been a really great experience in building confidence. And yeah, I've really loved watching everyone's. I particularly loved Do What's Right. I loved your passion. I think it's Ashley, but yeah, no, I think that's a really exciting project that you're working on.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Sarah. And I have to say, there's a tie. If everybody could just vote on this one. Oh, here we go. Okay, now the tie has been broken. Okay. Who wants to go next from the Visionaries Institute while we do our last poll?
I'll go.
Yeah.
Yeah, so first of all, I'm grateful for this experience and just being part of the visionary the Institute with everyone and getting to work on the project, learning other ways of sharing our project with other people, as well as conducting interviews, like making sure that doing in-depth interviews with our stakeholders so that we know exactly what they need and want. So that was something that I hadn't really done in a while. So I appreciate really thinking about that again. I really love listening to everyone's pitches today and just being inspired by what everyone is doing, and it just inspires me to keep on going as well. So yeah, this has been a great experience, and I just wish everyone the best of luck in their projects.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Crystal. Okay, so I'm going to share the results of the poll, what you've all been waiting for. Okay, so we have in the children and youth group, the winning team was, drumroll, Study Pals. Congratulations, Study Pals. I'm going to spotlight them for a second. All right, any words you want to say, ladies?
Thank you. Thank you to all the people who liked our project.
And we're excited to help Tanzanian students.
Yay! Okay, great job, ladies. Okay, and the next one, let's see, we have the social justice group. Let me find them. Okay, social justice group. The winner was Meal Mission. Great job. Would you like to say a few words?
We just want to say thank you for everyone who enjoyed our project, and we're really excited.
Oh, I got to spotlight your teammate too, Sammy. You want to say anything? Anybody else from this group I didn't spotlight?
No, just the two of us here tonight. But today, thank you.
All right, congratulations. Let's see what we've got next. I'm sorry, we're a little bit over time. Okay. So the next team, we did children and youth. We did social justice. Okay. The next one in the health and safety. Gonna find them. I don't see them. Maybe they're not here, but the health and safety group, the winner was Water Girls. The Water Girls, are you here?
We're here. Yeah.
Oh, you're
Yeah,
here.
we're
Okay, I
here.
can see you in the chat. Okay, there we go. Let's spotlight. Congratulations, ladies.
Thank you.
Say a few words.
Thank you so much for voting for us. We're really excited to see where our project can go. Super excited.
Awesome. Okay, and our final team in the animals and the environment, let me see if I can find them. There we go. Let's see. Don't see them. I think they're here. Let's see. Okay, just unmute yourself if you're here. It's the Cruelty Free Club. Let's give them a hand. Are you here, Cruelty Free Club?
Yeah, I'm here. Hi.
Ah, there you are. Okay. All right, you want to say a few words?
Just like thank you. And like this is like a great opportunity and like I'm really lucky to be a part of it.
Awesome. Great. Okay, and let me find our final winner of the main room. Let's see. I don't seem to find. Kind of hard. There are so many people in this call and not all of you are on camera. Okay, I'm just gonna announce it and oh, here we go. Okay, nope. There we go. Okay, so the final winner, drum roll, is Alexa with Fashionably Green. Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, you want to say a few words?
Yeah, just thank you to everyone, and I'm really excited to be doing this.
Awesome. All right. Thank you so much to everybody who voted. Okay. All right. So I just have a last couple of thank yous. I want to thank our sponsor again, our sponsors, Mobius and the Pollination Project. Thank you so much. And thanks, Stephanie, for being here to represent. We really appreciate you. We couldn't do this work without you. I want to thank all of our community supporters. Let's give them a hand. Community supporters for being here, funding projects. You guys are amazing. I want to thank all of our donors, our monthly donors who give every month to support our work. Thank you, monthly donors. You guys are awesome. I want to thank all of our teachers. I know I saw Jen is here and the other teachers. Thank you so much for being here, teachers. Thank you for doing all the hard work you do day in and day out to make this program happen, to teach the curriculum in your classes and support all of our students. It's really incredible how much the teachers do. Okay, I want to thank all of our interns and mentors and volunteers here today who supported us with the breakout rooms and the links. Thank you guys for being here. Let's give them a hand. Okay, I want to thank parents. I know you guys work really hard to nurture your children's creativity and innovation and their willingness to go out into the world and make it a better place. So thank you, parents, for all that you do to support your children. Let's give them a hand. And finally, I want to thank students. You guys are incredible. You did an amazing job today. You should be so proud of yourselves. I'm excited to see all of your GoFundMe pages go up and up. And over the next week, you'll get lots of donations rolling in. So congratulations on all your hard work today. Let's give them a hand. All right, so that's all for Global Pitch. I'm going to stay in case anyone has questions, but have a wonderful day, everybody. Thank you so much for coming. I really appreciate all your support. Bye, everybody.